What's up, you guys? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. My name is Amanda Marie. Over here I love to discuss all things fragrances. So if you're someone that is into fragrance, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button. Today's gonna be like a little fun video. There's a little trend going around on YouTube and I decided to hop on the trend, okay? Basically, the girlies and probably some guys who have a large collection, I'm assuming 200 plus bottles. They're doing these videos where they're showing the fragrances that they pull for the most. I may have like right at 200. But if y'all been following me for a while, y'all know I did a big declutter. Over time, I've decluttered a lot of my fragrances. So my collection has kind of downsized a little bit, which I'm actually happy about because I feel like I was looking at this massive collection and I really wasn't using all of my fragrances. So I decided to declutter and get rid of fragrances that I just no longer grab for, I was not wearing, and it just did not make sense to keep them around. Keep in mind, I love all my fragrances. All of my fragrances have been curated, which means these fragrances are in my collection on purpose, intentional. I want these fragrances in my collection because I love them all. But you know, sometimes you just have a tendency to grab for what you know, what you love. You know, fragrances that you're just absolutely like in love with, that you just can't get over. So these are like the 12 that I find myself pulling for. Also kind of recapping last year because I mean we're just in February, so it doesn't make sense for me to really add the fragrances that I just added to my collection. And I mean added over the last maybe 2 to 3 months. I didn't include those because again, the year just started and we'll see how things turn out with them. But let's get into the 12 that I actually pull for a lot. Okay, so the first two I have here are actually from the house of Killian. You guys know I have this love, affinity, affection for Killian fragrances. I always have. I want to say next to Bond fragrances, they're like one of the first like niche houses that I actually like got into because they're available in department stores. I do have quite a bit of niche fragrances. I probably have a fraction. I'm gonna say I have a fraction of Killian's fragrances. I have about 18 Killian fragrances in my collection right now. So that gives you an idea of how much I love Killian. I love Killian to death. So in my hand, I have 2 fragrances from the house of Killian that I actually grab a lot. I'm gonna talk about this first one. This is Good Girl Gone Bad. This is the extreme version. I do have the regular version in a decant travel sprayer, but I do intend on getting the original version because I feel like the extreme is a little bit like milkier. In my opinion, it still has this beautiful, gorgeous tuberose. This is one of the first tuberose fragrances that I actually fell in love with. I'm not a big fan of tuberose fragrances by any means. Like tuberose is like my least favorite floral note in fragrances. I'm just keeping it 100 with y'all. I don't really like tuberose. Sometimes it come out smelling kind of vintagey, kind of heady. It's a white floral, but in this fragrance, it is so sexy to me. And this was the very first, not the extreme, but the very first fragrance I fell in love with from the house of Killian is Good Girl Gone Bad. I love both of them equally. It is one that I gravitate to. I know that I'm gonna enjoy wearing this fragrance. It has a beautiful sillage. I get compliments when I wear it. It's just gorgeous. The next one is Love Don't Be Shy. Again, this is in the extreme version. I do have the regular Love Don't Be Shy in the original. I don't know if this is reformulated. This might be the reformulated version because Word on the street is this fragrance has been reformulated. So I think this is the reformulated version. I'm gonna have to check the batch code on this one. Spirit is telling me it's reformulated. First one I bought was actually the extreme version, but the sales associate told me it was a limited edition at that time. I think this is part of the permanent Killian collection. If I'm wrong, you guys can correct me down below in the comments. But yeah, I wanted to get this one first, seeing as though the Love was already out, part of the permanent collection. I didn't want to take the chance and miss out on the extreme version. So I picked that one up first before I got the original. The original version, the one I just showed y'all, was actually gifted to me from Killian, not himself, but I'm sure his team or whatever. But they gifted me that fragrance, so thank you guys for that. Love that. But yeah, I love this fragrance. This is marshmallow. Is this tuberose? No, this is orange blossom. It's marshmallow, orange blossom. It's sweet, syrupy. It's gorgeous. It is a gourmand type of scent, and I absolutely love it. I think it is a stunner. It's beautiful, and there's vanilla in here, so you can see the juice is already starting to get kind of syrupy, kind of brown. I don't think it's like that one in this one. And the one that I just got, I could tell that this was different. The juice is peachy, but it's not turned dark yet. And I don't know if that has something to do with the fact that this one is like the extreme version or not. I'm not 100% sure, but those are the fragrances I grabbed from Killian. Now, I do think that Killian fragrances, he loves tuberose. He loves a note of tuberose honey in his fragrances. He is not the perfumer, but I feel like he does have a creative say-so in his fragrances, because I see that he works a lot with the perfumers that create his fragrances, and I can appreciate that. But yeah, he loves a good note of tuberose. I think that the brand has kind of, oh, I hate to say this, but I feel like they've kind of slipped off a little bit, because y'all know back in the day, everybody was pulling for Killian fragrances. Like, everybody loved Killian fragrances. I think they've kind of shifted a little bit, but I feel like, you know, in the future, they probably will make some type of comeback. But anyway, with all that being said, I still love Killian fragrances regardless. When I started my channel, I didn't know anything about these fragrances, okay? A lot of people was commenting and saying you need to try Baccarat Rouge 540, you'll love it. I mean, this was probably before COVID, or was this after COVID? This was before COVID. This is like right at the peak of the craziness. This is right before this fragrance went viral. A lot of people was telling me to go smell it. So I went and smelled it. And you know what, honestly, at initial spray, I wasn't super impressed with the fragrance. I just wasn't. It wasn't like a groundbreaking fragrance for me. I thought it was unique and different. It was sweet, and you know, I sprayed it on my skin at the department store, and about 30 minutes to an hour later, I had walked around the mall, and I got in my car, and I was like, oh my God, this fragrance is amazing. Amazing. And I still didn't like it enough to pull the trigger and spend $400 on a bottle. I still didn't get to that point until probably mid 2020 or 2021. Maybe it's 2021. I think it was 2021 where I had finally convinced myself to like spend that money, spend that coin. You know what I'm saying? But it took me a while to get there. 3 fragrances from that particular house. The first one is Baccarat Rouge 540. Y'all know about it. I don't need to go into it. This is like a sweet, woody, cotton candy fragrance. I mean, it smells great on everybody, in my opinion. I think it has been overhyped. I think it has been duplicated and duped and copied so many times. I don't have to run out and buy another bottle of this anytime soon, because I have probably in my collection about 3 or 4, maybe 5 fragrances that are actual dupes, and some that just kind of is very reminiscent of Baccarat Rouge 540. So I don't really have to just go out. Once I go through this, and that's why I still have a lot left, because I will pull from a dupe and wear that one before I actually wear the real thing. That's just how my mind works. I love this fragrance. I think it is a stunner. I think it's beautiful. It smells so unique and different and sweet. It might be a little too sweet for a lot of y'all out there, but it was a fragrance that I just, when I first bought it, I could not put it down. It's amazing. I have the oil that goes with this fragrance as well. I think if I do anything, I will probably not buy another bottle of this. I will buy the extrait version before I buy this one. That way I can have both in my collection. So the next one from Maison France is Kurkdjian, and I have it in a cute 1.2 ounce. I'm so glad they came out with these size bottles, because I don't know about y'all, but I don't really pull for my expensive fragrances a lot. I know I can hear y'all in the comments right now. I can hear you, girl. Wear your stuff when you want to wear it. I get it. I be preaching that same message all the time. But fact still remains. A lot of my fragrances that I have spent a big coin on, I don't pull for them a lot. And I do have a tendency to only grab them for special occasions, and I do want to get out of that. To be honest with you, that's probably like for me growing up poor, so I probably won't ever get out of that mindset. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. Like, yeah, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I'm gonna keep it 100. I probably would be like that for the rest of my life. To Fluidity Gold, as you guys can see, I have a nice dent in here. And listen, at one point when they first came out with these 1.2 ounces, you could actually get them off of the MFK website for a fraction of the cost that they were selling them here in the States. With child, they caught on, and that's no longer the case now. It was a time to have, child. It was, if you caught on, girl, good for you. For the ones that didn't, I'm sorry. Baby, I was racking up, okay? I love this scent. This scent is juniper berries, it's vanilla. I want to say there's maybe a little oak moss in here or some woody notes. I know too that a lot of people were saying that this fragrance didn't last on their skin, and they were saying maybe they got a bad batch and stuff like that. This fragrance lasted on my skin forever. I never had any problems with the longevity of this fragrance whatsoever. I just love the dry down of this fragrance. I don't know, will I buy another bottle? I don't know. I don't know if I will buy another bottle of this one. There is a commodity scent, and I cannot think of the name of it. What is this called? I have it right here. What is that commodity scent called? Bold Gold. I have a huge bottle of Bold Gold by Commodity, which reminds me quite a bit of Gentle Fluidity Gold. So I don't know if I would be in a rush to run out and buy this fragrance again, but this is one fragrance that last year I gravitated to quite a bit. As y'all can see, the dents tell no lie. Oud Satin Mood, again from Maison France's Kurkdjian. And this is more of a, let me put this back. This one is more of rose and oud and vanilla. This is gorgeous. Still not the biggest fan of rose, okay? I'm just not that girl. Like, I'm not real big on floral notes. Never have been. I don't think I will ever be. I'm just keeping it real. But Delina Exclusif actually made me change my mind about rose. And I'm kind of digging the original Delina. I definitely love the rosé. Ooh, I love the rosé. That would probably be my next Parfums de Marly purchase, is the rosé. But I'll save that in the conversation coming up. But yeah, this is rose, oud, and vanilla. Maybe has some woody notes in here. This is gorgeous. This fragrance smells very sophisticated to me. It smells rich, it smells elegant, it smells beautiful. It is the ultimate unisex fragrance, not necessarily leaning any way in my opinion. Now, some people may say it leans a little masculine because of the oud, but honestly speaking, I think it's a nice middle when it comes to unisex, because it has the rose and the vanilla, which gives it like these feminine touches, and then of course the oud gives it the masculine touch. And I just think it's the perfect unisex scent. I think everybody that wears this scent just smells amazing. So I have a tendency, when I want to smell like rose, I do have a tendency to grab for this one, and I have a tendency to grab for this one. Delina Exclusif by Parfums de Marly. This was love at first sniff. Fun fact though, my friend Tanisha, actually, I don't know if she had the exclusive or she had the original. She may have had the exclusive. I think it was, she does have the exclusive. She actually bought this one, oh my God, probably like 5 years ago, 6 years ago maybe. This was before I even got into fragrance reviewing. Like, I had a collection, right? I've always had a collection. Not this massive, but I've always had more bottles probably than the regular person that you know, okay? I've always had a lot of perfume bottles. But she had Delina Exclusif, and we went to dinner one day and she had it on. It smelled beautiful, but it wasn't like where I just had to have the fragrance, right? And it wasn't until I got into fragrance reviewing and I said, let me go back, let me circle back and smell this Delina Exclusif again. And honey, when I did that, I fell head over heels for this fragrance. This will always be in my collection. This is like top 10 for life type of fragrance, you feel me? That's how this fragrance makes me feel. Now, you can't see my dent. Ooh, my dent is getting bigger. I gotta slow down. My dent is like right here. I have made decants for friends, family. I have made a decant for myself. Even though this is not the type of fragrance where you gotta top off in 3 to 4 hours. Now, this ain't her. You really don't have to do that, but child, I just love just smelling loud when I wear this fragrance. Like, I want the whole building to smell me. I want the whole earth. I want everybody on planet Earth to smell me when I wear this, because this is simply amazing. This is just a stunner. The hype is so real because it is well deserved. If you have Delina Exclusif, let the girls know down in the comments. It is absolutely beautiful. When I don't know what to wear, when I'm standing over here before I leave to go to work and I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna put on for the day, I always grab this fragrance. It's Another 13 by Labo. Y'all know I've been in love with this fragrance since day one. This is beautiful, y'all. This is, if I can remember, I should know the notes by now. I should. I know that it has a note of ambroxan. I know that it has musk. Okay, those are the two notes that stick out to me the most. I'm not sure if it has vanilla in it. I don't think so. But this would be what I would consider like a skin scent, even like a solar type of scent, okay? And when I say solar, I mean fragrances that are warm and maybe woody. You go out in the sun and they just smell amazing on your skin. But ultimately, this is like what I would want my skin to smell like literally every single day naturally, okay? This is like the ultimate skin scent for me. And I did a skin scent video and I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna put it out, because honey, that day I was recording it and I was low vibrational, okay? Very much low vibrational. So I still might put it out anyway, just because I spent time and whatever recording it anyway. I did include this fragrance in that video because I think skin scents are actually starting to become a thing. I think they're starting to trend. in the fragrance community, especially with spring and summer about to approach. I think people are going to really be getting into skin scents. So if you're like that type of person where you're not real big on fragrances, like you don't care about people smelling you, you just want to create a beautiful scent bubble, a beautiful sillage, like a personal type of fragrance or smell, I think this will be great for you. Again, this is another 13. Now I do have in my collection Juliet. Is it Juliet? Juliet has a perfume, not a gun. I don't know why I can't remember the name. Juliet has a perfume, not a gun. It reminds me a lot of another 13. They smell very, very similar. Y'all can see my dent here. But because I do have Juliet has a gun, not a perfume, and I want that same Le Labo vibe without spraying my good stuff, I will spray the Juliet has a gun, not a 13. But what? Not a 13, child. Oh my God. I will spray the Juliet has a gun, and then I will save another 13 for later, because we just talked about that, why I do that. But yeah, I don't have a lot of Le Labo fragrances. I do have a few that are on my radar right now. I have Thé Noir 29 that was gifted to me, and I do have some little samples of Santal 33. Funny thing about Santal 33, I actually enjoyed that fragrance when I first got into reviewing fragrances. Now that my nose has evolved and changed, and child, I went through COVID and all that other mess, I feel like I don't like Santal 33 that much anymore. I don't know. I don't know. I don't even want to like spray it and put it on my skin, because after a while it starts to make me feel like nauseated or whatever. But the next one on my radar is Rose 31. I do want to get that one. I think that is a beautiful rose scent. Again, I don't have a lot of rose in my collection, so I have a select few, and I'm very selective when it comes to the rose fragrances that I want to add. But let's move on. I do have two fragrances here from Kayali. My Kayali fragrances are abundant. Okay, I have a lot of Kayali fragrances. 2, 4, 6, 8. I have 8 big bottles, and I have 5 or 6 of the minis, okay? But these two are the two that I cannot, and it was a tough decision between the ones that definitely Vanilla 28 is here. Musk 12 and Elixir 11. Elixir 11 was one of the first Kayali fragrances that I ever smelled in my whole entire life. Before I bought the Discovery set or the mini, I think at the time they had a mini set that had a bunch of fragrances in there, and I opened it up and I did a review. I have to put this video up for y'all. It was 2-3 years ago. But I smelled Elixir 11, and child, oh my God, it sent me spinning. It sent me spiraling down this rabbit hole, down this road. It sent me spinning, okay? And I've been in love with Kayali fragrances ever since. Vanilla 28, now I think everybody and their mama, baby, have Vanilla 28 in their collection. Like, it is the vanillas of all vanillas. To this day, have not heard somebody say they hate Vanilla 28. Like, girl, I've never heard of it. We have 2 minis of this, and I have the big bottle. Listen, y'all, I layer this with everything. This is what I'm calling my foundation fragrance. It's good on its own. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. It's good on its own. But it's great to layer with. It is absolutely great to layer with, and I love it. Whenever I wear a fragrance that's overly woody, overly oody, overly whatever, I will layer it with Vanilla 28. Love this fragrance a lot. Next one I have here is Musk 12. Oh my God. There is something I cannot put into words how this fragrance makes me feel. It is absolutely beautiful. If you are someone that is into musk, you need to smell this. If you're into Narciso Rodriguez fragrances, and we all know Narciso loves a good musk. I think he's all about the musk. You will enjoy this fragrance. It's soft, it's beautiful, it's sweet, but not over the top sweet. It does dry down on me after about 4 or 5 hours to a skin scent, to be honest with you. But this is a beautiful fragrance. Like, I can wear this. I don't have any problems grabbing it. It's an easy grab. I don't have to think about it. I know I'm gonna enjoy it. I can sleep in this fragrance. I can layer with this, definitely with the other Kayali fragrances, but I'm a little bit more intentional. If I layer with this, it has to be something, it has to have a likeness, okay? Maybe if I have a spray of floral scent and I want something, I want a little bit more musk in the fragrance, then I will grab for the Musk 12. But it is a stunner fragrance. It's absolutely beautiful. I ain't gonna lie and say probably. This is definitely a lifer for me. This is top 10 for life. I love this fragrance oh so much. Comment down below if you love it as much as I do. Now, when this next brand released their fragrances, they released like 7, I think, all at once. I don't think he did it one by one, but y'all know this man is known for red bottoms, okay? I only own one pair of red bottoms. One pair. I just feel like those shoes are absolutely gorgeous, but they hurt the hell out of my feet. I'm sorry. And just my spirit, okay, the way I'm set up and the way that how I feel about my feet and how much I love my feet, because I'm on my feet about 12 hours a day, all day, standing, and I got to take care of my feet. I just can't purchase some shoes like that. Like, I have to be very, very selective on the type of Louboutins that I buy, because child, I hate to say this, but really deep down in my spirit, I feel like them shoes not made for black women feet. Don't come for me. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. They are beautiful, but the foot mold is not of a woman like me. I'm just saying. Anyway, moving on. Christian Louboutin. I grabbed for this fragrance a lot, you guys. I do have the minis. I have all 7 of the minis, all of the releases. I bought those, and then I started to decide that I wanted to, after playing with them, I decided that I wanted to invest in full-size bottles, only of a select few. I have, this one was the first one that I bought. This is Louis Crown, okay, and the other one that I have is Louis Rouge, which is actually a beautiful, stunning scent. But I wanted this one more than I wanted the Louis Rouge. I knew that I could not buy them both at the same time. That just didn't make sense for me financially. I had to make a decision, like, which one are you gonna buy first, right? And then still, I had plenty of juice left in the minis, right? So I pulled the trigger and I went with Louis Crown. The reason why I went with Louis Crown is because at the heart of everything, I am a gourmand lover. Secondly, I am into musky, woody, oudy fragrances. Like, that's like my number 2 go-to scent profile. I love fragrances like that, and this is exactly what it is. It's woody, and I feel like it's kind of oudy, but not over the top oudy. It does remind me of like a Middle Eastern scent, okay? It has that type of scent profile to me. It has, I want to say, notes of cedar, patchouli, and something else. There's only like 3 or 4 notes listed in this fragrance, but the patchouli is coming all the way through. The cedar is coming all the way through. There may quite well be some oud in here. All of those are coming through. And I absolutely love this scent. I think it is Simply gorgeous, and I do gravitate to this fragrance a lot. My dent is like right here now. I can see the juice in the bottle, so it's like right there. And whenever I'm in the mood, if I'm going out and I'm dressed kind of sexy, you know, and I want to give off like that mysterious, sexy vibe, I will pull for this fragrance. And 9 times out of 10, I'm layering it with Vanilla 28, because this doesn't have any sweetness in it, and I do sometimes need to tone it down a little bit, add a little bit of a sweet element to the fragrance, so I will layer it with the Vanilla 28. I might try to layer it with this one next time when I'm doing practicing my layering combo. I might try to layer it with the Vanilla Royale Sugar Patchouli. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that, because they both have patchouli in them. This one just has that like that Crown Royal. It has a liquor, it has liquor in the opening, so I don't know, I might have to play with it and see, you know, what it's giving. This is Christian Louboutin's Louis Crown. It ain't in here. Okay, so I don't own any fragrances from Creed. And not that I don't enjoy them or I don't like them, because I actually do. Not all of them, just a select few. But I don't know, it just when I started like experimenting with dupes and things like that, I ran across a really good dupe for Creed Aventus Her, and last summer I pulled for this fragrance a lot. I do enjoy the Creed Aventus that's made for men as well. I think that is like a super sexy scent. Again, part of my scent profile. If you smelled it, then you will know what I'm talking about. But this is L'Aventure Femme by Al Haraman. And when I tell you this fragrance is Creed Aventus Her, it's woody, it's citrusy, it's musky, it's gorgeous. Like, this is what I was smelling like all summer 2022. I don't know what I'll be smelling like all summer 2023, but we gonna find out. More than likely, I probably will be smelling like this as well, and some other fragrances, but that'll be a follow-up video. But I like this fragrance. Again, it gets very, very close to the real deal, and it's cheap. I want to say I got this off of Amazon for less than $50. I'm pretty sure at the time. I don't know what it is now, because y'all know what happens when us influencers get online and start talking about these fragrances. Kaboom, kaboom, the price goes up. And yeah, and I be trying to warn y'all about that. Whenever I get on and I start talking about certain affordable scents, I be like, buy now. You go buy now, because you wait and go buy 2-3 months from now, baby, it'll be, you think you're gonna pay 45, you're gonna pay 65. And that's a big difference, okay? That is a big difference. It's like, if you're gonna pay 65, you might as well just save 65 times 4 or 3, now 4, and just buy the real thing. You know what I'm saying? So be mindful of that. But I like this scent. It's gorgeous. It's just something about Creed that gets me every single time. Somebody came in my office Friday smelling like Creed, a gentleman, and man, he had that office smelling right. Do you understand? He had my nose open. I was like, dang, you smell good. But there's something about Creed Aventus for him and for her that I just really, really, really do enjoy. Another fragrance that I was pulling for that actually gives me the Creed Aventus for him vibes, and this is just kind of, I guess you could say, an honorable mention, is Morning Chest by Velhem. It definitely reminds me a lot of Creed Aventus for him. Last but not least, because my battery is about to die, this is actually a newer purchase for me. I think I did buy this one last summer, so it's coming up on a year since I've had this fragrance. This is from the house of Tom Ford. This is Tom Ford Ombre Leather. This is a gorgeous scent. This is like a floral, leathery scent. The leather in this fragrance smells very realistic to me. Leather fragrances can be very hit or miss for me, to be honest with you, but this is one that I actually quite enjoy a lot. It is sexy, it's mysterious. I love the floral component in this fragrance. I want to say it's either orchid or violet. I can't remember, don't quote me on that. But it does give off a bit of a woodiness to it as well, along with that leather. So I love the combination of this fragrance. This fragrance lasts all day. I get about an 8-hour wear out of this. If I spray it on my clothes, like even right now, I wore this last Sunday to brunch. It's still in my clothes right now in my closet. Like I can still smell it. So this is an amazing scent. I gravitate. Now I do have several Tom Ford fragrances, probably about 8. And this is one that I have a tendency to gravitate to quite a bit since I added in my collection. The other one is Metalik by Tom Ford. I grabbed for that one a lot. Black Orchid, which was my first love, I grabbed for that one mostly in the wintertime, because if you know how it's coming, what it's giving. Here lately I have been grabbing for Ebin Fumé by Tom Ford, but for the most part I'm grabbing for Tom Ford's ombre leather. I should have got it in a bigger bottle, but y'all know how Tom Ford fragrances, they are so expensive right now. Even that little one, child, I don't know when I'm gonna buy another Tom Ford fragrance. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. I don't know. They are expensive right now, honey. But yeah, those are the fragrances I grabbed for out of my collection of probably about 200 bottles. Those are the fragrances that I grabbed. If you have any of the fragrances I mentioned in this video, comment down below. Let me know what your scent of the day is, and also let me know out of your collection, what fragrances do you gravitate to the most. I would love for you to subscribe. If you have not, please hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell. That way you'll be notified every time I upload a video and you don't miss out. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button on your way out. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you are having a fabulous day, and I hope you are smelling good doing it. I will see you in the next video. Mwah. Bye.